Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. Sleep has become a foreign concept since day 21 into our little experiment, into our little addition to the family. Yeah, and increasingly I'm hanging on by a thread. Average sleep time nowadays is basically 4 to 5 hours, but regardless of me running on Steam, we're still gonna have energy to cast some OpenRA. So, this is a rematch of a rematch. I tried finding some more TD replays, and turns out there's two people who have played each other 20 times. And I've actually spotted another best of 9 that is going on between the ever-raging war between the forces of Kato and Nudels. Those two players are tangoing up and down the ladder. They are dominating the Tiberian Dawn 1v1 scene, and they're also very close in the ELO rankings, so this is just definitely the go-to matchup right now. I think Orb is slightly trading behind in spot number 3, and apart from that, all the others are lower in rank. Yeah, we've got the remastered assets. Again, people have asked why no remastered assets for Red Alert. That's because it's simply not possible on a technical level. You would need to find a replacement graphic for the flag track and look at the graphical fidelity. Right now, I don't think there is many talented and artists in the OpenRA community, but I doubt they're gonna have the proficiency and the luster to create assets of this fidelity. That just sounds like it's a bit too tall of an order. Yeah, also with the animations. Real smooth. Right, one of the minigunners of Kato already going to town on the power plant. This is, by the way, super annoying, because if you go for a build that is airstrip first with a barracks, you're basically using up 100 out of 100 power, and even a slight little discrepancy can turn the lights off. Or maybe you have 10 power left now. Yeah, I think the Conyard got lowered in power requirements. But it used to be the case that even the slightest sliver of damage could kick you into low power with this build. Okay, out comes the first buggy. Not V0, so we're expecting a lot of T0 from these players. And by the way, I'm fully intent on casting the entire best of 9. There's just no way around it. Yeah, Nudels relatively unfazed by this one minigunner laying siege to the power plant. Kato himself has gone up to 2 harvesters as well. Both players have gone for a recon. Against 5, okay, with some good kiting this is actually possible. But I think he would take so much damage at that point it's not worth it anymore, because then your only scouting vehicle is off the line. Okay, never mind, we're up to 3. So let the spam commence. I really like the solution that has been implemented for Tiberian Dawn. Used to be the problem that left and right maps were terribly imbalanced, courtesy of the planes coming in from the same angle every time around, and them being super visible to the enemy, giving away your build and giving away your location of your airstrips as well. But they're now stealth for all intents and purposes, at least to the eyes of your enemy. So that is an elegant one, and it also fits the theme of Nod, the underhanded tactics. There we go, stealth plane delivering. Okay, we're seeing bike transition from Nudels already. In a buggy v buggy scenario, bikes are just a liability. They cost almost twice as much. I think it's 500 over, or is it even 600? Buggies are 300 anyway. And a bike runs you 500 to 600, which is way of a steeper cost, and it just incurs the problem that you're gonna be outnumbered very momentarily. So, not recommended. The second airstrip is coming online for Kato already. So Kato making the first move, getting first mover's advantage, and the recon buggy gets away. Here we're seeing the famous tile error. This is one of the missing tiles from the original set. Oh, this is so smart. Kato is setting up a siege around these oil derricks because this recon bike can't be easily sniped, and thus requires full commitment on the hands of Nudels. So really difficult. He needs to pick his engagement very wisely. Going for a wide front and shift queuing, I believe. Yeah, he's shift queuing. Let's see if that is gonna fare well. Nope. Fare well to the buggies instead. Yeah, with the hold position, this was just a really good defense from Kato. And now he's outnumbering him. The good old days of crush, kill and destroy mods come to mind here. So at the end of the day, Ulderic's taking a beating but not going down. However, the combat stats are speaking for Kato right now. I love the vision score. Just 21% of the map are being scouted right now. Tank transition is coming online. For the tank connoisseurs and tank enthusiasts, Tiberian Dawn is definitely the way to go there. Ooh, a little flank from the Recons and Nudels. But the base is well guarded. So with the advent of the tanks, there is no tech on the side of Nudels just yet. Yeah? This is gonna be an easy wipe. And the tanks, okay, then they're wheeled now. So this is not the time to fight. This would be maybe the time to go for a backstab. Also, Flame Tank has been added. What's the deal with the Recons? Where did they go? Okay, here comes the comm center. But I think Nudels has to forfeit his oil derrick. Yeah. Here comes the Flame Tank waltzing in. Scorchinating the derrick. There we go. Good opening salvo. Oh, hello. Here's the Recons. They found quite some damage already. Out comes a turret. Ooh, the hit and run needs to be good. He needs one more double salvo. Nope, not getting it. As a result, the Harvester gets to live another day. Nope, nope, nope. Not finding it. The Recon is hunting. He's sniffing around, but doesn't get it. Exfiltrating safely. However, this was still very worthwhile. Delaying the economy of our opponent is so important at this stage of the game. What's the production tab like? Nudels is only spamming tanks, whereas Kato is going broad and basically trying to expand at the same time. So he's definitely spending his money wisely, and also while simultaneously also not having any of it. That sounds like a millennial. Maybe invest into some avocado toast. Not on the build queue. Nope. Yeah, this definitely is a millennials game, considering the original release date. Oh my goodness, forces overwhelming, plus the flame tank, plus the tank advantage, and the Recons are left to run rampage through the forces of Nudels. It's not looking good for Nudels. He gets some poke onto the flame tank, but ultimately he is being outgunned and outnumbered. He needs so much more than this. He needs to not throw away any of his okay, that's a good snipe. Needs to not throw away any of his units there. The tanks are gonna be running amok in the backlines here. Especially not throwing away Recon bikes. That would be the biggest deal. Holding on, holding strong for now. I think the mistake for Nudels was, for Kato was that it was just too split up. And now gets the tanks on retreat. This is not half bad. This is actually, wow, this is Nudels trading surprisingly efficiently, despite being outgunned. Okay, that was some good poke from the Recons that came in initially, and that allowed him to split up the forces of Kato. Really well played, pushing him back. And this is gonna result in a little swing here. We're gonna check the assets. Yeah, that's now fairly even. The game has been blown wide open. Good hustle. Nobody has built a repair facility just yet. Now, however, the reinforcement routes are way shorter for Kato. Kato is going to lose his derrick though. And the derrick is a big deal. If you know anything about Tiberian Dawn, you know how much that stacks up. Yeah, now with the advent of the rocket infantry, that just provides such a good defensive booster. Little defensive booster shot. Oh, I love how Kato, how Nudels is sending in his rifles to deal with Kato's forces. But there are so many barracks. This is production of triple barracks. This is unsustainable, however. Just want to point that out. You cannot afford spending your money like this on pumping out of 4 barracks. Okay, 3 for now, but still. That is just not happening. I think he's baiting in for an airstrike here. Yeah, this must be airstrike bait. I'm pretty sure he hasn't forgotten about his army, has he? Come on. Pull the trigger. Oh, artillery transition. Really good for sniping the infrastructure. Catching Kato completely off guard. Oh, here comes the plane. Oh. Yikes. The A-10 Warthog airstrike turning this army into mincemeat and a couple pounds of scrap metal. But the artillery is still allowed to free fire. So if Kato doesn't react on time, he's gonna start losing that just to random artillery fire. Yeah, I think that's going down. That is going down in a heartbeat. On the other side of the map, there is just no stopping this. What about the airstrike? Oh, Nudels built a nuke. This is not an opportune time for a nuke. Let's be real here. He has transitioned into tier 3 and I'm just not sure if that's been the right call. Kato has bled a lot of his infrastructure, but crucially he still has a mining functioning base. The main base for Kato has gotten obliterated for Nudels. And honestly, the Temple of Nod, this one ain't gonna pay off. Nudels does still have an airstrike ready. So the base count is practically even. He's mining off of, let's say, 5 harvesters. How many does Nudels have? Like 6? So in terms of economy, he's still ahead. But I doubt he can hold on for 6 minutes. And even then, the nuke, unlike the nuke in Red Alert, is not known to be a game ender. It's more like a precision infrastructure sniping tool. And it does not kill the Coneyard in one strike usually. And yeah, the army discrepancy is just massive. We're on 12 minutes now. I doubt Nudels has got enough wins left in his sails. What about the army? Holy smokes. What a surge. What a surge. Okay, Nudels has forgotten about this army, I feel. Has abandoned this detachment. Could easily go for a snipe on the harvesters. Kato's has gotten so much. Kato's infrastructure and Kato's base spread are insane. Okay, now let's see how much is he going to lose to the needle sting attacks of Nudels there. The Noodle sting attacks, basically. Nudels moving out his Coneyard as well, trying to skew the blue team for himself. He also has transitioned into stealth tanks. That's really good, especially on this map. On a map this wide, you can just use them as invisible scouts. And the opposition does not really have all that much in terms of detection, because basically it's only infantry units. Ooh. Harvesters being forgotten about. There is a massive force trying to clash into this. Oh, good hustle, but that was only wave 1. This is now gonna signal to Kato that he's good to go. Man, stealth tanks against armored units have such insane DPS. Ooh, firing on the rocket infantry though. There is a massive blob of infantry here. I feel Nudels has got enough left now to push this back. He's been given enough time to scale his infantry army. Oh, artilleries, however. There is no recourse at the moment. He's trying to brute force this. Nudels, I'm not sure about that one. You are throwing your units into the meat grinder. Those artilleries just pummel everything that gets into the vicinity. Oh, if you know the cost of infantry in Tiberian Dawn, you know how much just got blown up there. That ain't fun. 2 stealth tanks waiting in the wings. If he can go for a tech snipe, that would be insane. Yeah, stealth tanks are getting into position to snipe the harvester. And not on auto fire. Oh, the Chinook transport. Brilliant. Just providing line of sight here, and this has to be abandoned. Good night, sweet prince. Artilleries are in a very compromised position here. The go button has been pressed. Oh, good crushes as well. Getting some real good value from the tanks, but the artilleries have started turning. They're starting to pop like party balloons. Oh, down goes the Chinook though. 2 more artilleries left. No, pull back this infantry force. Oh my lord. Carnage. Complete carnage on both sides. Stealth tanks are still alive. They have taken out one harvester. They're starting to eat up the other one as well. Very good. Some really good hit and run being displayed by Kato here. By Nudels, sorry. And Kato is struggling a little bit. These units are not detectors. Only infantry can detect in this game. Man. Does Nudels have an airstrike ready? He should in a moment. No, 2.5 minutes. There's an obelisk of light. Ooh, this is gonna be so bad when it powers out. Looks like it's almost out already. Man. Nudels does have nothing left. Just the 2 stealth tanks, really. Yeah. This is gonna spell the GG, I presume. The stealth tanks are being gunned down because they're in detection radius of the guard tower. That was a close one, though. I gotta say that this was an insane game. Army is not that scary anymore. Wait a sec, there's only 1 tank left. The rest of this army is just comprises infantry. Very vulnerable infantry at that. Nudels had to sell off his tier 3 though. That was his win con. Yeah, this is probably just gonna be harvesters and an infantry push. He is transitioning into mass barracks. This is the all-in. This is a... If we're going for a very historically problematic concept, that's the Volkssturm that is happening right now. Terrible, terrible Nazi idea. And basically, everyone was mobilized. Every last man and child. And that's pretty much what's happening here. Nudels is just assembling the rest of his troops. Probably with harvester support as well. And all Kato needs to do is just play the waiting game. Pull the trigger. He's got the airstrike ready as well. Oh no. Oh, that's just 1 airstrike away from disaster. Pictures taken 25 seconds before disaster. These guys still doing some kickboxing moves. But the breach is inevitable. Man, so many harvesters on 1 patch. Alright, mass mobilization. What's the doctrine gonna be? No artillery support this time around. The infantry will have to go in rough and dry. There is a swarm of reds crawling. Waiting at the steps of the door of the base. Waiting in the wings. Kato, by the way, has not transitioned into tier 3. He's content just gobbling up the map. Yeah, that's it. No more stealth tanks, no more tier 3. Yeah, an interesting conception in that came with one of the patches in 2023, in 2022, I believe, was that detection got changed. Used to be that pretty much every unit had 1 cell of detection radius. Nowadays, it's just infantry and base defenses. Whereas regular mechanized units do not have detection across the board. So it's quite an interesting balance concept. My lord. Okay, Nudels is going for Apache longbows. Probably to just snipe the artillery, but what does it matter? There is a complete surround on his base. We're gonna zoom out and observe that on a macro level. Yeah! You entertained? You're having fun, Mr. Nudels? Being walled off in your base? This looks like playing as a professional against an amateur. Ooh. Playing as an RTS newcomer against someone who knows what they're doing. It's the classic where you just don't, where you're just turtling, you know. Beginner players have these safe strategies, one of them being turtling. This firebombing has just deleted the army of Nudels. There is no salvaging this anymore. No salvation. I also like the counter Apache. Just denies aerial vision. Just to make sure. Kato has not yet reclaimed his original base, is yet to do so. We're 20 minutes deep. It is a foregone conclusion. But hey, it's still pretty to look at. Wondering why isn't he sniping the scouts? Finally. So, for those of you who don't know, and that should at that point be a minority, but still there are still people who are new to this game. In that case, welcome. And also, aircraft in the Tiberian Dawn mod do automatically rearm themselves mid-air. So, they just deplete their ammo base, and then it takes them like 15 seconds to rearm. So, they're poke tools rather than the aircraft in Red Alert, where they're basically sniper units. Here they're just continuous poke. And that's a really cool concept. I like the Orcas especially. Oh, out come the mobile SAMs though. That is the hard counter. Yeah, good night, sweet prince. Those were the surface-to-air missile surface-to-surface missile launchers in the original expansion Covert Operations. They got repurposed into surface-to-air missiles, which makes a lot more sense considering the angle. If you look at the angle of the missiles, doesn't look like surface-to-surface, I guess. And they are super strong against air units, as one might expect, because they literally can't do anything else. Okay, some chem troopers being added here. Chem warriors, to be more specific. Little air skirmishes going on, little air raid. The Temple of Nod has been revealed. Nothing he can do about it. There's also a repair facility for whatever reason. Just randomly. Oh, the intercept with the mobile SAM. Beautiful. Gets down 3 of the Apaches already. Critically wounding the other 2. I guess we're just waiting for the nuke at that point, huh? Nudels has somehow managed to procure the funds for another Temple of Nod. I guess Chain of Command and Nod are really lenient with their money. They're like, yeah, we're gonna grant you the request. Here, have another temple. You know, what's 2,500 more credits? This war has already been lost. Ooh. I mean, foregone conclusion, but I really still want to see the heroic charge. Okay, that's the MCV being sold because there's literally nothing to gain anymore here. Alright, is he gonna pull the harvesters? He must. Yep. Here comes the move out. 10 seconds until Nudels airstrike. Ooh, the SAM site has been deployed. Some hits onto the infantry are starting to come out. Very forward artillery. Wow, survives. That is a rare sight. Man, he's trying so hard. He's actually trading favorably for now, but that's just... You know, he was waiting for his airstrike to be ready. That's a good position for the airstrike too. Yeah. Get some of the artillery. Nice. Enemy artillery being sniped as well. Holy smokes. He's actually gonna get the Coneyard. Okay. Ooh. This is hilarious. But in comes the charge and the chem troopers. Let's look at them just obliterating the infantry. Ah, they're not reaching for the moment. As soon as the first Visceroid is being created, we're gonna start having problems. Oh, GG is called. The place is swarming with the Reds, and that is gonna be a strong opener to this series from Mr. Kato. Damn, son. This game was back and forth for quite a bit, but at the end of the day, taking 90 quarters of the map correlates with correlates with winning the game. That's basic statistics 101. Alright, indisputably, the champion still stands strong. Kato taking another point, but Nudels is not done just yet. There is 8 more games to go, and I'm fully intent on casting them. We're gonna watch those probably next week, because this has been a long one. So, that's been tons of fun. I gotta go get some sleep now, because, yep, the babies aren't gonna be asleep for much longer, I guess, so take the sleep where I can get it. All you sleep-deprived parents out there, shout out to you. I know how it feels like. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.